Yo, no need to fear, Raider Nation. I'm here where the autumn winds blow 12 months out the year. Was good. Yo, man, this is Severe Raider, and I'm here with a little bit of a response video. Okay, look, one of my favorite YouTubers, right, dude by the name of Raider Honcho. If you're watching this video, I know you've watched that video. I know you subscribed to that dude. He recently asked a question, pondered aloud: is Damon Arnette done? And I'm here to answer that question, right? Is Damon Arnette done? The answer to that question is a resounding yes. That man is dead bird, tall grass, as Kendrick Perkins would say, all right? Give you a little bit of history. Damon Arnette was the second of two first-round picks of the Las Vegas Raiders in the 2020 NFL Draft, right? The first of which was Henry Ruggs III. Both picks were questioned. But there were some people that saw the value in Henry Ruggs, right? I personally had Henry Ruggs third among wide receivers. I had CeeDee Lamb number one, and I had Jay Jets, Justin Jefferson number two. And fittingly, Henry Ruggs III was third. And a lot of people question whether or not in a very deep, very talented wide receiver draft, should Henry Ruggs have been the first receiver taken. But they still saw, like, you know what? This guy has loads of talent, explosive, speed, deep threat. They can see him being taken number one, right? Number one amongst the receivers. But the pick that was almost universally panned was the pick of Damon Arnette. I personally had a third round grade on Damon Arnette, right? The only corners I would have considered taking in the first round, Jeff Okudah, which was out of the question, C.J. Henderson, Terrell out of Clemson, and there was one more, Christian Fulton. And that was, if we traded back, I would have taken Christian Fulton. And we ended up taking Damon Arnette. Now, what I believe happened in that draft is knowing Mike Mayock and Gruden and their affinity for Clemson players, I believe that they had their eyes on A.J. Terrell. And then Atlanta snapped him up. And then pretty much, we still wanted a corner in the first round draft, in the first round of this particular draft. So we took Damon Arnette. Personally, I had us waiting until later on in the draft and taking a corner, and two corners I was very high on. Actually, three corners, late round corners I was high on. So I didn't anticipate us taking the corner early. But three corners I was really high on was one, Amik Robertson, who we did actually take. But my favorite late round corner was Cameron Dantzler, who ended up going to the Minnesota Vikings and is balling out. And another guy I really liked was Bryce Hall from Virginia. I believe he got selected by the Jets. I really haven't been following them too much since he got in the league. But those are three guys I liked, and those three guys I anticipate us taking later on. Now, we chose to go with Damon Arnette in the first round. And I know I had questions about the pick immediately, mainly because dude has maturity issues. And as much as Mike Mayock and John Gruden kept talking about character, they took this guy who had went back to school in large part to rectify some of the character concerns that people had about him the year before. And I wasn't 100% sure that he actually did fix those issues, right? The dude is tough as nails. Played, his final year in college, I believe, with a broken thumb or a broken wrist, I can't recall, and then turned around and played, last year with wrist issues and a broken thumb again. Guys, going around with a goddamn, ball attached to his damn hand, playing corner with the club, and it's difficult, especially position where, you really have to get your hands on guys. You really have to jam guys up and get your hands on guys, and you can tell it was affecting him. And he just spoke about it, right? He wasn't able to really lift weights. Wasn't able to really get his hands on guys like a corner really needs to, especially in the system we were playing last year. So I gave the guy the benefit of the doubt last year. But one thing I will say is that people keep saying that, hey, you know what, he's only in year two. He's only in his second year. While this is the case, you guys, Damon Arnette is 25 years old. To put this in perspective, Yannick Ngakoue is 26. Okay, he's only a year younger than Yannick Ngakoue. So by this time, all those character and maturity issues, he should have those ironed out. And I really, really hoped he had turned the corner, man. I heard he was having a strong off season. I heard a lot of my favorite, YouTube Raider channels that they were really, speaking highly of him. Talking about how well he was doing OTAs. And they were impressed with him, and they were anticipating him. A lot of them were anticipating him starting. I always thought that once we signed Casey Hayward, I always kind of figured that Casey Hayward would be the opening day starter, and then maybe eventually through the year, maybe by week 5, week 6, or after the bye week, Damon Arnette would assume the starting role opposite Trayvon Mullen. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, right? Casey Hayward is clearly our best corner, quite possibly our best defensive player. And Damon Arnette he's falling behind Amik Robertson, who just moved back to the outside this year, right? He was a slot corner all of last year. We were trying to turn him to a slot corner, and finally this year the coach was like, you know what? Hey, we're gonna put you in a position that you know how to play, and moving him back outside. And Amik Robertson is playing well, so Damon Arnette has moved behind him. And I was at that Dolphins game, man, and it just seemed every time he stepped foot on the field, a pass was getting complete against him. Early in the game, it was on the third down. As soon as he stepped foot on the field, they completed a pass to him for a first down, right? And I was talking with some Dolphins fans behind me, man, and every time he stepped foot on the field, man, they were like, hey, man, go at 20. 20's on the field, go at 20. And I was thinking the same thing, man. I think Casey Hayward had to step out the game, or early in the game, and as soon as he stepped out, completion to whoever Damon Arnette was guarding, right? Late in the game, I think Trayvon Mullen had to miss some time. Completion to Damon Arnette. It got to the point in the fourth quarter when somebody else was out, they didn't even go to Damon Arnette. They put Amik Robertson out there, and I'm just really, 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 disappointed in what I've seen from Damon Arnette, man. It's not too late for him to turn the corner. After all, he's still a Raider, and I'm still pulling for him to turn the corner. But as of now, man, I'm done with Damon Arnette, and I believe he may end up being done with the Raiders. It might be a situation where we look to trade him this offseason, especially with the emergence of Nate Hobbs. Damon Arnette's time and days with the Las Vegas Raiders may be numbered. Tell me what y'all think, man. Please subscribe and like the video. All right, y'all. Severe Raider, and I'm out.